Hello class, this is Professor Morrison and this is your presentation regarding rules of evidence for your body paragraphs for your argument of fact essay. Remember that your paragraph development is only as good as your evidence. Rule number 1, each fact must be accurate. So be sure to copy information, especially quotations, accurately, and pay special attention to dates and the spelling of names. Treat statistics with caution. Make sure that the source of your statistics does not have an agenda and is not biased. I do suggest using the Pew Research Center because they are nonpartisan. Do not use quotes out of context. Manipulating evidence has its place in the courtroom, politics, and the tabloids, but not in academia. Make sure the quote you use reflects the intent of the speaker. Rule number 2, each fact must be authoritative. Make sure the source is reliable. Make sure the source is unbiased and use information that is timely. Remember that your sources really should be no more than 10 years old unless they are seminal or you are taking a historic approach to a certain topic. Make sure that you have accounted for any type of bias and that you have found the most unbiased source available and that it is from a reliable, credible source. Rule number 3, each fact must be relevant. If you're writing about the unfairness of the BCS standings, don't include information about a coach's recruiting trip to the Dominican Republic. Make sure to stay on topic. Rule number 4, include enough facts to prove your point. The amount of evidence depends on the thesis statement. The more controversial or debatable, the more evidence needed. But be careful not to use too much evidence. Readers may get bogged down with too many details. Rule number 5, arrange facts in the best way possible. Evidence can be arranged logically, general to specific, specific to general, least complex to most complex to least complex, general to specific, or specific to general. It really depends on what you're trying to say in your essay. Evidence can also be arranged climactically, most exciting to least exciting, or least exciting to most exciting. Or you may decide to arrange your evidence chronologically in time order. Okay, now let's discuss evidence manipulation. Do not overlook significant factors or individuals. That is not something we want to do. We want to make sure that we're being inclusive of everything that is relevant to our subject. Do not ignore evidence that goes against the thesis statement. That's called confirmation bias, and we really need to avoid that. Also, do not jump to conclusions based on insufficient evidence. That would be a logical fallacy. We've already covered those. Again, do not make generalizations based on faulty logic. Do not use evidence that is outdated, no longer relevant. Don't use evidence out of context. Don't use evidence from a biased source without acknowledging the source. So, for example, if you're writing about a Democratic presidential candidate and get your information from the Republican Party headquarters or vice versa, be sure to mention it, and probably you would also mention that it is biased. And then, of course, make sure all evidence is properly cited. Now we have come to our supporting details exercise. So you've just completed your peer review, and you want to make sure that you have your rough draft in front of you. And you're going to find 5 pieces of evidence that you used to support your thesis statement. And you're going to answer all of these questions for each of those 5 pieces of evidence. So you'll have 5 sections in your response. And so for each piece of evidence, answer if it is accurate, authoritative, relevant, and then also answer if you have enough facts adequate to prove your point, and if your facts are presented in a logical manner. So you'll have 15 answers for that first section, and then you will have the second part down here will just be 2 answers. So this is for each of the pieces of evidence, and this is overall. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know. And I am here to help you as always. And I look forward to reading your work soon. Thank you.